The nightcrawler harness is to walleye what spinnerbait is to bass. No matter the body of water, crawler harnesses are what many anglers simply call spinners, and they're the ticket to a quick limit of walleye. This week, Mark and Jake Romanack of Fishing 411 TV traveled to the western basin of Lake Erie to troll crawler harnesses using offshore tackle guppy weights. The guppy weight is an ingenious product that is easily rigged as an inline trolling sinker, making them the perfect companion to popular walleye rigs such as the Yakima bait Hammer Time harness.
She's a little breezy this morning. I guess that's a good thing. Out in the big pond, a little bit of wind should be good for what we're going to try to do today. The good news is it looks like we're hooked up fairly quickly here. Let's see how this plays out. Going to need suction cups on our feet today.
I'll pull that board off for you, man.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. A little awkward here with the waves and stuff. Feels pretty good. Oh yes, it's the object of our affection. Exactly what we're hoping to see today. Oh, nice job.
Nice fish,
Thank you,
Dad.
Jake.
Very nice fish.
All right. I'll call that a good start. I'll call that a very good start. And some of Lake Erie's finest. Today we're going to be fishing some spinners, and we're going to be doing it a little bit different way than what most people do it, and we'll fill you all the cracks in so you know exactly what we're up to. But today is going to be about using worm harnesses to catch Lake Erie walleye. Wow! That fish literally pulled that board underwater. And we got some pretty short lead lengths on. What we're doing is we're using guppy weights, or made by offshore tackle. It's an inline weight. And we're keeping our lead lengths pretty much the same across the board, but we're using different size guppies to get down to different depths. So this one happens to be 1.5 ounces, well, just 25 back behind the board, and when that fish hit, it literally pulled the board right underwater. So that was exciting. Let Jakers take this board off for me. And while he's taking my board off, I'm looking over at his boards and I see what it is going back to. Looks like we got a double header on here right now.
We'll get yours landed here first, Dad, and then
take them one at a time,
I
reckon.
mine.
Uh-oh. Good shot. I'll take Kim if you want to run and grab yours.
All right, let's see here. Got one on the middle board going. You know, that's kind of the name of the game with spinners, especially when you're going this slow. When you get on the right school of fish, a lot of times when you catch one, you'll get multiple fish, and that's why it's so important to be able to release your planer boards. Because I don't have to change anything. I don't have to change my speed, I don't have to change my direction. I just basically keep going in the same direction that I'm going, and because of that, you end up getting multiple bites. And the fact that we're going so slow, 1.2 to 1.5 miles an hour, you stay in the fish a little bit longer, keeping that presentation in front of those fish longer.
Oh, very good, very good.
He did not like the boat.
I was going to say, he saw us, that's for sure.
Very nice.
Oh, that's a good one there, Jake.
Let's pull this fish up and show him off. That's a good walleye right there. And we're going to show you exactly how to put these spinners in the right location in the water column to catch suspended walleyes. And that's a good representative fish right there of what we're looking for today. Hopefully we put a pile of these fish in the boat and show you exactly how to catch walleyes with spinners.
Special considerations are provided by Cisco Fishing Systems and Striker brands. Go early, go late, go prepared. Additional considerations provided by Fishhawk Electronics. Trolling without a fishhawk is called boating.
On this week's episode, we travel to the Ohio waters of Lake Erie, and the reason we come here is Ohio has got tons of walleyes, but they also have a great opportunity to catch walleyes on spinners, and we really enjoy using spinner rigs, what they call nightcrawler harnesses, to catch walleye.
The big girls, they suspend out in a little bit deeper water off the reefs or off of the bays or in the mouths of the river and target pelagic bait is what they're trying to do, just chow down. So pre-spawn, they're eating. Post-spawn, common knowledge used to be they took a break, but we're finding that they don't. So it's a great time to be on Lake Erie, and you got your best chance of catching the biggest fish you'll ever see. Just unbelievable here.
The cool thing about fishing around the islands on Lake Erie is that today we're 11 miles from where we launched this morning. So we had a bit of a boat ride to get out here this morning. But when you're fishing in and around the islands, you feel like you're right on shore. I mean, we actually started this pass only about 200 yards offshore from the island. So it's just kind of a cool feeling. You're a long ways from where you launched, but you really do feel like you're fishing right next to shore. It's a nice walleye.
It's a good fish. I like that.
Man, that's not a bad walleye right there, Dad, huh?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Nice, nice. That'll be the perfect eating fish right there. We'll get him in the live well, get a bunch more.
Well, it's early in the day, and we don't know exactly where in the depth range these fish are going to bite the best. And so we're running 3 different size guppy weights. We're running an 1.5 ounce, we're running a 2 ounce, and we're also running a 3 ounce. Well, obviously, the heavier ones are going to run a little deeper. In order to create something that's standardized that we can understand easily, we're going to use all the same lead lengths. We're setting them back 25 foot. So we've looked them up on the Precision Trolling Data app, and so we're fishing about 11, 14, and 18 foot down. So that's covering the water column pretty good for where we're seeing fish on the graph. Now, the fish are going to tell us which they like best. So let's say, for example, that 3 ounce weight tends to be the best today. Well, then we can switch everything over to 3 ounce weights, and we can be fishing all at the same depth we want. Or we can take that 2 ounce sinker and set it back further to get it to fish the same depth as the 3 ounce weight. So the beauty of this is that we're going to cover the water column thoroughly to start, and then once we figure out where they're biting, then we're going to pile all of our gear in that area of the water column.
This fish is staying down really nice. And in this case, I have a heavier snap weight, a 3 ounce guppy weight that gets us a little bit deeper. So I can run the same leads, but stagger my lead lengths, and my inside line is my deepest line.
That's a good looking fish, Jake.
There we go. Not a very big one, but this is a little bit deeper fish than what we've been catching today. Most of our fish have been a little bit higher up in the water column. This one's been a little bit deeper, and I was talking about the guppy weights. I'm going to put him back in the net, and I'll show off this guppy weight here. This is a 3 ounce guppy weight. Now this is literally the same weight that we would use as a snap weight if we were fishing crankbaits, or you can even fish snap weights with harnesses as well. So it makes it a multi-purpose weight. You buy one weight, you can use it for multiple different things, which is really nice. And in this case, we're fishing 3 different guppy weights and running all the same lead length. The reason why that's really cool is that if you've ever fished multiple planer boards aside, you know that if you're running exactly the same leads, it's really easy to move your boards along. Like if you have an outside board bringing it over top of all your lines, they're all exactly the same amount of feet back, so it's really easy to rotate your boards and sort through a lot of fish. And when you're out here on Lake Erie, you're going to sort through a lot of fish. So the guppy weight from Offshore Tackle is perfect for fishing it as an inline keel type weight.
You know, if you notice, I snapped my rod tip. I'm not setting a hook. What I'm doing is releasing the planer board. And there's a common misconception that by releasing a planer board, you create slack in the line and allow fish to get off, and that just simply isn't the case. The way we're rigging these offshore boards with a OR19 release on the front, OR16 on the back, when I trip the board, I am releasing the board, but the board is still pinned in place right at the exact location on the line. And if you start reeling the second that you release that board, you're not giving that fish any slack. As a matter of fact, you're giving him zero slack, and so you stay tight on the fish. You just don't have to fight the resistance of the board. It's just an ingenious way of rigging planer boards, and you can do it with, of course, with spinner fishing like we're doing today, or if you want, you can do it with spoons or crankbaits or anything you might be trolling. Get that board off there. You can see how it's just attached just on the back of the board. And let's see if I can come tight on this guy here. And indeed, I'm still hooked up. So no slack line, no lost fish. Releasing the boards is a dynamite way of catching lots of walleyes. He's probably a netter, Jake. Good deal. Thank you, son. I give him about the same size today. We've got a lot of small fish and we've got a few quality fish. And man, this fish just ate it.
Special considerations are provided by Precision Trolling Data and the Lake St. Clair Walleye Association. Special considerations provided by the Ultimate Sport Show Tour, Michigan's elite sport shows. Eagle Claw presents the 411 on fishing.
Let's talk a little bit about inline spinners. Now, Yakima Bait Company produces probably the widest variety of inline spinners of anybody in the country. And of all the spinners that they produce, there's two that we consider to be our favorites, the ones you'll see on Fishing 411 routinely over and over again. The first one is the Vibrick. And the Vibrick, the reason we like this is because the shaft goes right through the blade. And as a result of that, the blade spins at literally the slowest possible speed. So if you want to fish in cold water, you want to do a very slow retrieve and still get blade rotation, the Vibrick is going to be the answer. They work very well for slow speeds, they work very well for cold water, or maybe you want a slow roll in deep water. You want to get that spinner way down deep. You just can't beat the Vibricks. The other one that we use an awful lot is the original rooster tail. This is the spinner that got the whole game going. And you notice that it's got this willow leaf or modified willow leaf style blade. The beauty of this is it's got a lot of flash, a lot of vibration, and you can buzz this thing. You can throw it out and you can retrieve it very fast. In fact, one of the things that we do with this is we use it in place of a traditional spinnerbait. If you're a bass fisherman and you're using spinnerbaits all the time, and those fish are getting conditioned to seeing spinnerbaits, by switching up and throwing a rooster tail in the same application, you'll be amazed how well that'll work for you. Get to those extra bites in those pressured fisheries where bass have seen just about everything, chances are they haven't seen the original rooster tail. And just another little tip on the rooster tail, if you want more thump out of the blade, you can take a pair of pliers and you can squeeze the blade at about a 45-degree angle. It puts a little bit more cup into the blade, and what that does is give you more thump, more vibration, a little bit different look, a little bit different feel. It's a nice little trick that we learned from legendary fisherman Buzz Ramsey. If you give it a try in your boat, I think you'll catch more fish.
There we go. I was trying to send my middle board back out, and before I could get it hooked back up and sent back out, the outside board went. So I got things a little bit mixed up right now, but we'll get this fish in and get the lines back out how they're supposed to. And I think this kind of goes to the fundamentals of trolling. But one of the most important tools you're going to have if you're getting into open water trolling, that's the cool thing about our sport, is it seems like there's a lot of people getting into fishing here, and I love to see that. A lot more people every day are getting involved in the sport of fishing. But one of the most important tools you're going to want to look at for open water trolling are line counter reels, so you can duplicate your lead lengths. It's a nice fish, Dad.
It is a very nice fish. There we go.
There we go. And before I show that fish off, I'll tell you what I'm talking about, the line counter reel. This is a Alexa 300 from Daiwa, and it's a line counter. And the nice thing about this style reel, it's a low profile reel. So it doesn't take a ton of line to fill it. And if you fish a lot, you're gonna go through a bunch of line throughout the year. I actually re-spool these reels at least twice a year with monofilament. And the nice thing about the low profile is I can rip it all off, put on 170 yards of line back on it, and I'm back fishing again. It doesn't take a lot to fill that reel. But the nice thing about the line counter is you can duplicate, and that's the biggest thing. I know that if 30 feet back I'm catching fish at 30 feet back, I could take another rod, send it 30 feet back, and catch fish with multiple rods. So a line counter is going to be honestly one of the more important tools to this open water trolling game.
Well, we're fishing Hammer Time harnesses. It's a product that Jake and I helped develop for Hildebrand Company, and the variety of different colors. Of course, the blades come in lots of different colors, and I'm running my legal 3 lines on my side, and 2 of my board lines are getting hit consistently, but 1 of my lines is not getting hit consistently. That tells me that particular color is not really working today. But no worries, I got lots of different ones here all tied up, ready to go. So rather than change out the harness, which is going to take a little bit more time, there's quick change clevises that come on these Hildebrand harnesses. So I'm just going to grab the blade, snap a blade off, choose a different color, and put that on there and put that back out there. That way I can switch colors very, very quickly. I don't have to cut, don't have to retie. I can literally change the color of my blade in a matter of seconds. You may have noticed that I was using some Procure nightcrawler scent, and the question is, why in the world would you feel like you need to use a scent product when you're using live bait? Well, you notice that our crawlers are packed in ice water, and so after they're in there for a while, they lose a lot of their natural odor, that earthy odor. So using a little bit of Procure just kind of recharges those crawlers and makes them smell like night crawlers. And don't get me wrong, I don't understand why walleyes eat night crawlers. It's not like they see a lot of them in their day-to-day lives, but I'm telling you, they work, and if you add a little bit of scent to them, particularly night crawler scent, it seems to work even better.
Special considerations are provided by Trailmaster Trailers and Daiwa Corporation. Special considerations are provided by Procure, ruthlessly effective bait scents.
You know, on the first pass, we were catching fish pretty much immediately. So the rule of thumb there is that when you make another pass, you probably want to go a little further upwind and set up a little further, because it's a good indication you sat down on fish. If you go a little further upwind, pretty good chance you might be able to extend your trolling pass and stay on fish more effectively. And so let's take a look and see what this guy's all about. Haven't eyeballed him here just yet. Got a little bit of color in the water.
Rods all over the floor of the boat.
Yeah, I haven't
nice
set my lines though. See if I can get him up here for you, Jake. Oh, that is a good fish.
Nice.
Definitely a little better grade of fish. And like I was saying, we had made our pass. The first pass we were catching fish immediately. So this time we went about a quarter of a mile further upwind, and it paid off. Got a fish immediately before I could even get my other lines in the water. Starting to come together. Definitely the walleyes of Lake Erie like meat, no question about it.
You know, the way that we're controlling the boat today is with our electric motor, and that's pretty much ideal for trolling spinners because you're not going very fast. So you control all day long just simply off the power of your electric motor. And today we're using a Ghost electric motor, and that's a 36-volt electric motor. But the cool thing about the Ghost electric motor that kind of sets it apart is it's a brushless motor. Now, if you've ever used power tools before and electric power tools, you know exactly what the brushless technology is all about. What that means is I can run longer and get multiple days now, especially if I'm pulling crawler harnesses, multiple days before having to charge. And the cool thing about this motor is we actually have it tied into our electronics. It makes boat control a lot easier. Now in this situation here, you can see the passes that we're taking on the graph. And I have what's called a course lock going right now. And the course lock is just keeping the boat going in a straight heading. If I wanted to go to a specific waypoint, I can touch that waypoint and the electric motor will drive us right to that spot. Another really nice feature is the fact that I can steer the electric motor with the graph itself. So if I need to go a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, I can simply do that just by pushing those arrows right there. So it's a really nice feature to have with the Ghost motor, having everything integrated right to your Lowrance electronics.
That's a good looking fish right here.
Oh yeah.
That's what we want. We'll get him right over here for you, Jakers.
Nice. Nice fish, Dad.
Yes, indeed. We've had some small fish, but we've definitely had a good selection of these quality, higher grade fish like this one. Definitely have done well on that. Good eating class fish, lots of them, available for the guys that want to get out and fish meat.
Okay, could be very wrong, but it sure feels like the right flavor.
It's looking like you're very wrong. Oh, you're very right. It's a good walleye.
Yeah, Dad, this is a really good fish here.
That might be the best of the day there. Oh goodness,
yeah.
That's a great fish. Oh yeah,
That is a great one.
That is a great walleye. Woo!
Now we're talking there. Woo! That is a beautiful walleye right there. I hope you enjoyed following my dad and I today, teaching you a little bit about how to pull crawler harnesses suspended over open water for walleyes. My name's Jake Romanack. If you get a chance, check us out on Facebook and YouTube. We got a lot of extra content there. Other than that, we'll see you here same time, same place next week.
Closed captioning is provided by Lakeside Motorsports, Michigan's premier marine and power sports company. Fishing 411 is brought to you by Offshore Tackle, Lowrance Electronics, Starcraft Marine, Yamaha Outboards, Yakima Bait Company, Niagara Falls, USA, Smooth Moves, and Jay's Sporting Goods.
Slow speed, sometimes it's hard to tell, so I'm gonna try and tighten up here and see if he's still there. I'm afraid not, and you're gonna see the results here as soon as I bring this in.
He got you.
He got me, I didn't get him.